All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is John Filippini and Aaron Adams.
What's up, guys?
This is first attempt weightlifting. We're going ahead and doing some more technique review. First off, if you guys are interested in us reviewing you guys, we've been getting a few videos coming in from folks that are not our own athletes, and we very much appreciate that. You can send those in if you want to get your video reviewed at firstattemptweightlifting@gmail.com. It's firstattemptweightlifting@gmail.com.
Send them in.
Yeah, and otherwise, any of these videos, of course, help support us and let us know you're still watching out there. Like, comment, subscribe, etc. Yeah.
Get it done. We like hearing from you guys. All right, so we're checking out Cheese, right?
Yeah, this is Matt Nolan. He is a national champion USA Powerlifting Raw competitor. Now turned to CrossFit. He's actually got dreams of going into the NPGL.
Uh-oh. Great guy.
Yep, we're both big fans of Grid here, so we're excited for, I think it'll be the next couple weeks. We got the opening weekend coming out. But Matt here, which, yeah, he goes by Cheese. We're going to call him Cheese the rest of the time. Him and I used to train together back in the day over in Baltimore, and now he's out in San Diego. But he just hit a PR clean and jerk, which is this one at 153 kilograms, which we're very happy about. Let's take a look at it, and we'll come back.
He's excited.
Yeah, he looks real happy there. So one thing you notice is that the weight is clearly not too heavy for him. We mentioned he was a national champion powerlifter. This is 153 kilograms. I believe his career best in powerlifting, he squatted 270 kilograms, 275-ish, and then he's deadlifted 325. So 153 is not that much.
Now let's see why that powerlifting background may be a huge issue for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if we watch this, there's some things that I see right off the ground. Now you see, as soon as he starts, he kind of gets his shoulders back, he gets a nice tight back position, and then as soon as he pulls off the floor, boom, he's got a nice rounded back right in here. Boom, you guys see that? All right, so that can be an issue towards the top.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, having watched him, he's one of those people, and, powerlifting, in the sport of powerlifting, this is not a big deal, but in the sport of weightlifting, it doesn't carry over as well. He's a round back deadlifter. He misses deadlifts when, if you actually had his 325, and we carried that forward, I'd say right about this high, more like right about this high. If he was to miss a deadlift, this is where he would miss it, which is kind of funny, is now he's trying to put at speed with this extremely rounded back here, right?
So as we come up, look at those hips have to compensate by coming forward. And see how his shoulders are kind of rolled under here? Look at that. What that's going to do is that's going to then limit him in his final pull. You can also see this nice little arm bend right here that he has going on, which is also going to limit that. When he gets to here, see, his shoulders were internally rotated. Now they have to come back and shrug up, and he can't really get that full extension.
Well, to be fair, we do always want the shoulders internally rotated. We just don't want them protracted. He's got that shifting forward into basically collapsing the chest. We want the shoulders back, so we got a big open chest. The elbows point to the end of the bar is the internal rotation, but the shoulders forward is what we don't want.
There we go. Thanks for that, John.
Sure. I'm here for that. So he pulls this up, and honestly, I think that his hip drive, his leg drive is actually pretty solid here, but with that rounded back and with the shoulders having rolled forward, it's just still like a little further away than it needs to be. And you were talking about the pull under. What was your comment about that?
Well, as you can see when he pulls under, he does that same little swoop that we could see before where his hips lead, okay? Now, it's not as bad as when we saw the video with Jack, I think it was, right?
Right, and actually, let's take a look at this real fast. Let's watch those feet. We can actually see, we draw a quick mark right where the feet start, and then if we go ahead and actually shift forward, maybe it's not as far forward as I thought it was. It looked like it's a little bit skip forward.
Yeah, you see how his knees are leading the whole motion? If you watch that knee right there, okay? Check it out. Knee leads the motion, and that's what's actually pulling him forward, and we can see on the catch, boom, that thing hits him pretty hard, kind of crashes on him.
You can see the knees cave in there a whole bunch.
Look at that. Boom. Everything compensates. Now he goes back to that rounded back position.
Yeah, that's the thing, is now we've got the back is rounded here, doing one of these, and we've also had the knees moving and caving in rather than staying out over the foot. So both of those things together, as we have him stand up, we're going to see where all this comes into play together as he goes into the jerk. which as we go, honestly, I like the dip and drive.
Good dip. I'm really happy with the dip.
Yeah.
He actually keeps his back tight there.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. Go Cheese. We're proud of you.
Yeah, man.
He goes, however, as he lands the bar, of course, timing is off. He's landing with his feet way before he's got his lockout. You need to receive with locked elbows if you're going to really get some heavy weight overhead, which is where he's got this, how many frames he's still locking out under that bar. But the thing I really want to highlight is actually his back leg. If we look at this back leg right here, obviously the heel's down. We don't want to see the heel down, right. But the other piece I was going to say is that his foot is very externally rotated, meaning the toe is pointed out around that direction. We actually, in this one case only, basically, you're always squatting externally rotated with the toes pointed out, but in the jerk, you do want the toe actually pointed out, so the heel, or so the heel is pointed out.
Right. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to receive the weight better downward, okay?
Yeah.
Because when you drop that knee, if that bar is a little bit forward, as it is in this case, if he drops this back knee, that bar goes whoop and falls straight down into a nice little pocket. It actually adds for a little bit of room for error. So you can see here it's out front, and he has to recover. Real strong guy, not a big issue.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, to me, all of that together, I have a couple stretches that I'm actually going to try sending to Cheese here to be able to work on some of his internal rotation of his hips and make sure that can open up. And then Aaron's getting silly with us here. I'm not sure you're doing a good job with the cheese there, but we're good.
That's cool. All right, well, thanks, guys. Remember, this is First Attempt Weightlifting with Aaron Adams and John Filippini. Like, comment, share everything, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, get at us. Remember our email, firstattemptweightlifting@gmail.com, and we'll see you guys later.
Take care, guys. Thanks.